Gareth Ronaldon got into truffle growing because, he says, he likes eating them. His enthusiasm for the fungal delicacy is what has, for the past 20 years, compelled Gareth and his Christchurch-born wife Camille to develop the business at Limestone Hills in the Waipara Valley.
We grow 4 different species of truffles. We're probably the only place in New Zealand to actually have all 4 produced commercially. So we're basically selling truffles from Christmas right the way through until early spring, till September.
Good girl. Good dog.
This was basically bare paddocks. It was sheep country. The Limestone Hills homestead used to be part of a bigger sheep station. We bought the house and 25 acres or 10 hectares, and then we set about developing it. The first thing we planted were black truffle trees in August 1997, and we got our first truffles 9 years later. But in the meantime, I wanted to kind of hedge our bets a bit, so we planted an olive grove, and I wrote a book about olive growing off the back of that. We've planted some walnut trees, and then we planted a vineyard as well. So we have a little vineyard producing Pinot Noir under the Hermit Ram label.
Where is it? Where is it, Rosie? Where is it? Oh, good dog, Rosie. Good dog. Good dog. Wait, sit. Good girl.
The truffles are basically underground mushrooms. They've actually evolved to be eaten. So what we've got is a kind of 3-way symbiosis. We have the tree, we have the truffle fungus on the roots, and we have animals that eat the truffles and spread the spores around in the forest. Now that's an obligate symbiosis. The tree wouldn't survive without the truffle, and the truffle wouldn't survive without the tree. And then the animals come along and complete that circle. So what we do as truffle growers is we try to get very well inoculated trees so that they're inoculated with the truffle that we want. We plant them out as baby trees, and then we grow them on to the point where hopefully the truffles will start to fruit on the roots of the tree. There are certain species that you work with. We're standing underneath an oak tree at the moment, an English oak, Quercus roba. The hazelnuts that you can see around here, Corylus avellana, that's also a really good host for quite a wide variety of truffle species. We're in the white truffle block here, the Bianchetto block. That also works very well with pines, and they found recently that it grows really effectively on Pinus radiata. With the black truffle, the Tuber melanosporum, the Perigord black truffle, the evergreen oak is also a very good host.
Now that's a good one. Yes, isn't it? It's a very good one.
This is going to make some chef very happy. So this is a mature burgundy truffle. It probably weighs 50 to 70 grams of that order. So that's worth about $50 to $70. We produce somewhere between 8 and 10 kilos of burgundy truffle a year from this little patch of trees, which makes it incredibly productive in truffle terms.
Rosie, seek. Where is it, Rosie? Rosie, seek. Oh, good dog, Rosie, good dog. Good dog. Oh, good girl. Good girl.
I think you can train any dog to be a truffle dog. The difference is how willing are they to work. So if the dog's got a decent nose, you play a game with it when it's a puppy to track down things that smell like truffles or truffles themselves, and they get a reward, and it's a game they want to play. So that side of it is pretty good. But actually, if you're commercially harvesting, you need the dog to focus for 1 to 2 hours sometimes. And if you've got a lot of trees, you may need to have more than one dog. So the key is to get a dog that's willing to work hard for you. And the thing with the beagle, fantastic nose, very accurate, and Rosie's turned out to be a really good worker.
Good girl, good girl, good girl.
When the trees are little, it's all about giving them TLC to get them to grow. Once you've got truffles in place, there's a sort of rhythm to it. Every year at the end of the season, you want to aerate or look at your soil to make sure that it's nice and crumbly and friable so the truffles can form very easily. And then it's just down to making sure you've got enough moisture at the right times to make sure that the truffles can form. They usually are forming in the ground in January, February, March. They grow to their finished size in April, and then they sit in the ground until June, July, August when they ripen. We don't need to fertilise because the trees basically rely on the fungus to give them the, particularly potassium out of the soil. So if you think of the root system of the tree, if these are the root tips of the tree, the fungus is much finer. and it goes out into every nook and cranny in the soil. So if you had a teaspoonful of soil, there might be meters, 10 meters or more of fungal tubes in there. So that's what the fungus is doing for the tree. It's getting nutrients and moisture out of the soil, feeding it to the tree, and in return the tree is making sugars in its leaves and sending those sugars down to the fungus. So if you fiddle around with adding nitrogen or phosphorus or potassium, anything like that into the ground, you're taking away the job that the fungus is doing for the tree. There'll be truffles that we can't sell to restaurants. I have two uses for them basically. They can be sold on to nurseries for producing newly inoculated trees for new truffle growers or for expansions, or you can use them to put them back in the ground. We are learning more, and I'm pretty confident that we're going to get excellent returns from our longer term investments. But the trials that we've been running, because the Burgundy truffle and Bianchetto white truffle blocks that we've got are very small. They were part of the original trials run in the country, and the returns from these tiny little blocks of trees are so good that I'm getting to be an old man now, but I'm planting more trees. Absolutely.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.